Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. This time we're taking a look at something pretty fascinating. You guys sent in a text, and it's all about this, well, conversation between God and demons. And the thing that really caught my eye is that the demons, they're actually asking for forgiveness.
Yeah, it's definitely not your typical demon story. It's a pretty unique take, right?
Hmm.
Instead of just portraying demons as purely evil, this text kind of explores the idea that, they could actually seek redemption.
Redemption, huh? That's interesting.
Yeah, and they're admitting to their past actions, expressing some remorse, and I think that immediately challenges our preconceived notions of what a demon is, right?
It definitely throws a wrench in that whole fire and brimstone image we usually have. So we have these beings, typically known for rebellion, defying authority, and they're coming to God with a sense of humility, wanting to make things right. What happens next? I'm hooked.
Well, this is where things get really interesting. Instead of just like granting immediate forgiveness, God kind of throws them a curveball. It's a challenge. The text says true forgiveness, it's not just given, it has to be earned.
Oh, so there's a catch.
Yeah, they're tasked with proving that they're actually sincere, through genuine transformation. It's not a free pass.
So no get out of jail free card for these demons. This text really frames forgiveness as like an active process, right? It's a journey of inner change, a process, not just a single event.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. It really emphasizes that forgiveness, it's not something that's like bestowed upon you. It's a path you choose, a commitment to evolving, to becoming a better version of yourself.
Okay, I like that. It's about change, not just words.
And it's not about erasing the past, right? It's about, how do I put it, transforming your relationship with it.
That's a good point. It already has me thinking, about how often we as humans seek forgiveness or offer it without really, I don't know, really digging into the deeper meaning. We say the words, but are we really embracing that change, that transformation?
Yeah, it's a great question. The text really pushes us to think outside of that transactional view of forgiveness.
Mm.
It's not just about absolving someone, saying, okay, you're off the hook for doing something wrong. It's about a fundamental shift, a shift in perspective for both the person seeking forgiveness and the one offering it.
Okay, so if forgiveness is this ongoing journey, a process of transformation, what are the actual steps these demons are challenged to take? I mean, the outline mentions self-forgiveness as a crucial starting point, but that seems kind of counterintuitive, doesn't it? I mean, shouldn't the focus be on making things right with, the people they've wronged?
It's a common misconception, for sure. The text really highlights how important self-forgiveness is, because think about it, carrying all that guilt and shame, it can really cripple your ability to move forward.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, it's not about letting yourself off the hook. It's about acknowledging the harm that was caused, but also recognizing that there's potential for growth.
So it's accepting responsibility without being totally crushed by guilt.
You got it. And the text suggests that self-forgiveness, it's all about fostering self-compassion. It's recognizing that you are worthy of forgiveness, even if your actions haven't, always lined up with that. It's a foundation, a necessary one for any genuine transformation.
It's like that saying, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah.
You need to cultivate that sense of wholeness and forgiveness within yourself before you can truly extend it to others.
And this self-forgiveness, according to the text, it isn't just a one-time thing. It's an ongoing practice, a commitment to treating yourself with kindness and understanding, even, when you mess up. It's almost like it's a radical act of self-love that allows for genuine growth and change.
So it's not about wallowing in guilt or shame. It's about acknowledging those feelings, learning from them, and then making that choice to move forward with self-compassion.
Exactly. And this self-compassion, it's not about ignoring the consequences of our actions, right? It's about holding ourselves accountable, but still recognizing that we're inherently worthy of love and forgiveness.
Mm.
It's a balance, a delicate one, but the text suggests it's absolutely crucial for anyone seeking genuine transformation.
This whole journey of forgiveness, it's really about challenging our assumptions at every turn. We've gone from demons seeking redemption to the importance of self-forgiveness as a, what's the word, catalyst for change. What other unexpected twists does this text have for us? What's next on this path of transformation?
Well, after the demons confront the need for self-forgiveness, the text takes us to a concept that seems, well, at first glance, almost contradictory: surrender. These beings, known for rebellion, control, they're challenged to let go of their grip on power, and you know what? Embrace trust in something larger than themselves.
Surrender. Whoa, that's definitely not what I expected. It seems like, well, the complete opposite of what we typically associate with, demonic behavior.
It might seem paradoxical, but the text suggests that for real transformation to happen, you have to let go of that illusion of control. It's about acknowledging that we don't have all the answers. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is surrender to a higher plan.
So it's not about giving up or becoming passive. It's more about shifting our perspective from like resistance and control to one of trust and acceptance.
You got it. It's about recognizing that sometimes the best way to achieve what we want is to let go of that need to control every tiny step of the way. It's about trusting the process, even when we can't see the whole picture, the outcome.
You know, that really resonates with me. I think we can all relate to that feeling of wanting to control everything in our lives. But let's be honest, that just leads to stress and anxiety. This idea of surrender as a step towards transformation, that's pretty intriguing. What does that actually look like for these demons, though? How do they go from beings of rebellion to embracing surrender?
The text suggests that this surrender, it's not passive. It involves actively choosing to align their will with a higher purpose, recognizing that, what they want individually might not always be the best thing for the greater good.
So it's about taking a step back from the ego's demands and considering a broader perspective.
Exactly. It's about asking, what's my role in this larger story? How can what I do contribute to something bigger than myself? And that shift in perspective, that's a key part of their transformation.
This makes me think about how often we get caught up in our own little worlds, our desires, frustrations, the daily grind. This concept of surrender, it challenges us to zoom out, consider the bigger picture. It's a reminder that we're all connected and that what we do has ripple effects even beyond what we can immediately see.
It is. It's about recognizing that we're not just isolated individuals. We're part of a bigger web of life. And honestly, that recognition can be incredibly liberating. It allows us to step back from that pressure of feeling like we have to control everything and instead focus on aligning our actions with a sense of purpose, a purpose that goes beyond our own ego.
That's a beautiful way to put it. It's about finding that sweet spot between taking responsibility for our choices while acknowledging that we're not the sole authors of our destinies.
Exactly. And this surrender, the text suggests, it's not about blind faith or just giving up. It's about making a conscious choice to trust in a process larger than ourselves, having faith that even when things are chaotic or uncertain, there's an underlying order, guiding us toward what's best for us.
That's a powerful message. It seems like this journey of forgiveness, it's less about reaching a specific destination and more about embracing a new way of being in the world. It's about cultivating qualities like, I don't know, self-compassion, trust, and a willingness to surrender to something greater than ourselves. What other transformative concepts does this text explore? What else do these demons encounter on their path to forgiveness?
Well, as the demons delve deeper into this concept of surrender, they come across a force that becomes like a guiding principle in their transformation.
Love.
Love.
Now, that's an interesting twist. I mean, we don't typically associate demons with love. It seems like a pretty radical departure from their usual portrayal.
It is. That's one of the things that makes this text so compelling. It challenges our assumptions about, both demons and love itself. It presents love not as just a fleeting emotion, but as this powerful force, a force that can heal, inspire change, connect us to something so much bigger than ourselves.
So it's not just about romantic love or even the love between, I don't know, friends and family. This text seems to be pointing towards a more, I don't know, universal, almost cosmic understanding of love.
You got it. The text suggests that love is like the very fabric of existence, the energy that binds everything together. It's the force behind creation, and it's the source of all true healing and transformation.
Wow, that's pretty profound.
Yeah.
But how does this love actually manifest in the demon's journey? How do they go from beings associated with, darkness and negativity to embracing this incredibly powerful force?
Well, the text says it's not something they find outside of themselves. It's about recognizing the spark of divinity within them, reconnecting with that inherent goodness that exists in all beings.
So it's about tapping into that universal love that's already present within them, not seeking it from something external. It's almost like remembering rather than discovering, right?
That's a beautiful way to put it. The text implies that love isn't something we, acquire. It's something we reclaim. It's about peeling back the layers of fear, ego, negativity, to reveal that core essence of love that's always been there.
That's a really powerful message. It suggests that even beings traditionally associated with darkness have the capacity for love. It really challenges our judgments about who is worthy of redemption.
It does. And that's what makes this text so relevant to our lives, to you and me. It reminds us that we all have that spark of divinity within us, that capacity for love and compassion, no matter what, no matter our past mistakes or what we perceive as shortcomings.
It's like that saying, everyone is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Be kind. Always. This text seems to be encouraging that same perspective. It's asking us to look beyond the surface, beyond our judgments, and recognize the potential for love and goodness in everyone.
And that recognition, the text says, is a key part of our own transformation. It lets us move beyond fear and judgment and connect with others from a place of compassion and understanding.
This whole concept of love as a driving force for transformation, it's really resonating with me. It's making me think about those times in my own life when I felt that transformative power of love, whether through acts of kindness, forgiveness, or just, I don't know, feeling connected to something larger than myself.
Those are powerful experiences. And the text suggests they're not just random, they're glimpses into the true nature of reality, reminders that love is the underlying force that connects us all.
So these demons are on this journey of forgiveness, embracing self-compassion, surrendering to a higher power, and now recognizing the transformative power of love. It's an incredible evolution. But I have to wonder, is this path smooth sailing all the way? Are there any challenges, any setbacks?
Oh, absolutely. The text makes it clear that this journey is not a straight line, a linear progression. The demons definitely face doubts, temptations, even despair as they navigate this new way of being.
So even with good intentions, transformation isn't always easy.
Not at all. The text really suggests that true change takes a consistent effort. It's about recognizing that there will be times when we stumble, when we fall back into old habits, when we question everything. What matters, what's crucial, according to the text, is that we don't give up.
It's about resilience, about picking yourself back up, recommitting to the path, even when it's tough. That's relatable, even if we're not, dealing with demonic temptations.
Absolutely. It's a universal experience. We all face challenges and setbacks on the paths to growth, personal growth, any kind of growth, really. The key is to see those moments not as failures, but as chances to learn, to strengthen our resolve.
So these demons, they're facing internal struggles, battling old habits, confronting their fears. How do they deal with that? Do they go through this transformation alone?
That's where this highlights another crucial part of this journey, the power of community. The demons, despite their, inclination towards being isolated and independent, they find strength and support in connecting with others who are also on a similar path.
So even demons need a support system. That's both surprising and, well, pretty encouraging. It makes this whole journey feel more, I don't know, human, more relatable.
It does, right? The text suggests that no one is meant to go through this alone. We need connection, encouragement, a sense of belonging to help us through the tough stuff and to celebrate the victories.
That's a powerful message. It's something we can all apply in our own lives, whether it's, finding a therapist, joining a support group, or just connecting with friends who share our values and goals. We all benefit from that sense of community, from shared experiences.
Absolutely. The text emphasizes that connection isn't just about seeking support when things are tough. It's also about celebrating each other's growth, learning from each other's experiences, and inspiring each other to keep moving forward.
It's about recognizing that we're all in this together, we're all part of this larger tapestry of human experience. And that can be so powerful, can't it? It can help us feel less alone, more connected, more, empowered to create positive change in ourselves and the world around us. What happens next for these demons now that they've, embraced self-forgiveness, surrender, love, and community? How does their understanding of forgiveness continue to evolve?
Well, this is where the text takes a really interesting turn. The demons, as they keep going on this path of transformation, they start to see their past in a totally new light. It's not about condoning their past actions, but rather developing a deep sense of gratitude for every single experience they've had, even the ones they regretted, the ones they felt ashamed of.
Gratitude for their past, that's almost paradoxical, especially given what we typically think of when we think about demons. How can they possibly be grateful for the harm they caused? I'm really curious to hear more about this shift in perspective.
It's a fascinating twist, right? The text says that as the demons continue on their journey, they realize that without those past experiences, even the painful ones, they never would have started down this path of transformation. Those mistakes, those moments of darkness, they became the catalysts for them waking up, pushing them towards a deeper understanding of themselves and where they fit in the universe.
So it's not about saying those actions were okay, but about recognizing the role they played in their evolution. It's like seeing those experiences not as I don't know, sources of shame, but as stepping stones on the path to becoming better.
You got it. They develop this deep gratitude for what they learned, the growth that came out of those difficult experiences. It's like that Japanese art, kintsugi, where they repair broken pottery with gold, like highlighting the cracks and imperfections as part of its beauty. These demons, they're embracing their past, scars and all, recognizing it as part of their wholeness.
That's such a great analogy. It's like they're reframing their past, not erasing it, but seeing it through a lens of growth and transformation. Does the text give us any insights into how this gratitude shows up in their actions? How does it change their behavior?
It doesn't really get into specifics, but it does suggest that this newfound gratitude inspires them to help others who are, struggling on a similar path. They become mentors, guides, sharing their hard-won wisdom, encouraging others to embrace their own journeys of transformation.
So they're paying it forward. They're taking the pain, the lessons from their past, and using it to help others navigate the challenges of forgiveness and growth. It's a beautiful example of how transformation can ripple outward.
It is. It's like as one being heals and evolves, it creates this positive impact on the people around them, inspiring others to start their own journeys of self-discovery and redemption. The text even goes so far as to suggest that this ripple effect, it extends beyond just individuals. Their transformation actually contributes to a larger shift in consciousness, a movement towards healing and unity in the universe itself.
Wow, that's a pretty powerful concept. It's like their individual journeys are part of this bigger wave of positive change, impacting like the very fabric of existence. It suggests that even beings that we associate with darkness can become agents of light and transformation.
And it challenges us to, rethink our own ideas about good and evil. The text seems to be saying that no being is inherently one or the other. We all have the capacity for both darkness and light, and it's the choices we make, the paths we choose, that determine where we end up.
This deep dive is making me think about my own life, my own choices, and what kind of impact I'm having on the world. It's a powerful reminder that we all have the potential to, be agents of positive change, to be part of something larger than ourselves.
That's a wonderful insight, and it really gets to the heart of this text message. It's not just a story about demons seeking forgiveness, right? It's a reflection on what it means to be human, our capacity for both darkness and light, and the transformative power of choosing love, compassion, and growth.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We've seen how self-forgiveness is crucial for real transformation, how surrender can be a powerful act of trust, how love is a driving force behind healing, and how community can help us through the tough stuff.
It's been an amazing exploration. But the journey isn't over yet. The text goes on to describe another step in the demon's transformation, one that really challenges our understanding of forgiveness. They're called to confront their past, not with judgment or shame, but with a profound sense of responsibility.
Responsibility. That sounds like a heavy burden, especially considering what they've done in the past. How do they reconcile this sense of responsibility with the forgiveness they've been seeking? Wouldn't that just bring up all those feelings of guilt and shame again?
That's a great question. And the text suggests that it's a delicate balance. It's not about dwelling on the past or letting guilt consume them. It's more about acknowledging the impact of their actions, understanding the consequences, and using that knowledge to, guide their choices moving forward.
So it's not about punishing themselves for their past, but about integrating those experiences into their present and using them as fuel for growth, taking ownership of their story without letting it define them.
Exactly. It's about realizing that while they can't change what's already happened, they can choose how they respond to it. They can learn from those experiences, take the wisdom from them, and use it to make more conscious, more compassionate choices today.
It's like they say, the only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. The text seems to be encouraging a similar way of thinking. It's about seeing the past not as something to be afraid of or ashamed of, but as a source of valuable lessons that can help us in the present and the future.
Precisely. And that shift in perspective, that's a key part of their transformation. It allows them to move beyond feeling like a victim, where they see themselves as defined by their past actions. Instead, they take ownership, recognizing that they have the power to choose a different path, to write a new chapter in their lives.
This idea of taking responsibility as part of forgiveness, it's really thought-provoking. It's not about dwelling in guilt, but about recognizing the impact of our actions and making a conscious effort to learn and grow from those experiences.
And it's about realizing that true forgiveness isn't just about, getting absolution from other people. It's also about holding ourselves accountable for the choices we make and taking responsibility for the impact those choices have had on ourselves and others.
This is making me think about times in my own life where I've had to face some, difficult truths about myself, my actions, and the ways I've hurt other people, whether I meant to or not. It's not always easy, but it's so necessary for growth and healing.
It is. And the text suggests that this process of facing our past, taking responsibility for our actions, it's an ongoing thing. It's not a one-time event, but a practice we can keep working on throughout our lives.
So it's not about achieving some perfect state of forgiveness or responsibility, but about continually trying to make things right, to learn from our mistakes, and to become more, conscious and compassionate people.
Exactly. It's about realizing that we're all works in progress. We're all on this journey of growth and evolution. And part of that journey is, acknowledging our imperfections, learning from our experiences, and trying our best to become the best versions of ourselves.
This is a really empowering message. It's a reminder that we're not defined by our past mistakes, but by the choices we're making right now, in this moment. And every moment, it gives us a chance to learn, grow, and make amends.
It does. And this embrace of responsibility, according to the text, leads the demons to another profound realization. Forgiveness isn't just about seeking reconciliation with other people. It's also about seeking reconciliation with ourselves.
That's an interesting distinction. We've talked about self-forgiveness, but what does it mean to seek reconciliation with ourselves? How is that different?
Well, the text suggests that while self-forgiveness is about letting go of that guilt and shame, reconciliation is more about integrating all the parts of ourselves, even the ones we might have rejected or pushed away.
So it's about accepting our wholeness, acknowledging our strengths and our weaknesses, and just accepting ourselves fully, even the imperfections.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that we're all complex beings, capable of great love and, also capable of causing harm. And true healing, it comes from acknowledging and integrating every part of ourselves, not trying to hide or deny parts of who we are.
This makes me think about those parts of myself that I'm not always proud of, parts of my personality or things from my past that I try to hide. This idea of seeking reconciliation with ourselves, it suggests that those parts, they're also worthy of compassion and understanding.
They are. And the text implies that real transformation involves embracing our wholeness, recognizing that our shadows, our imperfections, they're part of what makes us unique. It's about letting go of the need to be perfect and instead embracing that messy, imperfect, and ultimately deeply human journey of becoming who we truly are.
This is such a powerful message. It's a reminder that we don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love and forgiveness. And real healing comes from accepting all of ourselves, the light and the shadow.
It does. And as the demons go through this process of self-reconciliation, they run into another big challenge. They're tasked with confronting their ego.
Their ego. That sounds like a tough opponent. We usually think of demons as being all about ego, pride and self-importance. How do they go from embodying those qualities to actually confronting and dismantling them?
It's a fascinating paradox, isn't it? The text suggests that for true transformation to occur, there has to be a willingness to take apart the very structures that have defined us, even the ones we thought were sources of strength.
So it's like realizing that those ego-driven desires for control, power, or recognition, they might actually be holding them back.
Exactly. The text implies that the ego, while it can be helpful in our development, can also become like a prison, keeping us stuck in patterns that end up causing suffering for ourselves and others.
It's like that saying, the ego is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. It seems like these demons are learning to change their relationship with their ego, to see its limitations, and to cultivate humility and self-awareness.
You got it. The text suggests that confronting the ego isn't about getting rid of it completely. It's about recognizing that it's there, understanding why it does what it does, and then choosing to align ourselves with something higher, something that goes beyond what the ego wants.
So it's about realizing that the ego is part of being human, but it doesn't have to be in control. We can choose to align ourselves with something bigger, something that reflects our deepest values and aspirations.
Exactly. And this shift in perspective, that's a big part of the demon's transformation. They start to see that real power isn't about dominating others, but about mastering themselves, cultivating qualities like compassion, humility, and wisdom.
That's a powerful message, and it goes beyond just demons and deities, doesn't it? It speaks to the struggles we all face in our own lives as we deal with our egos, our desires, and the choices we make.
It does. And it reminds us that true freedom doesn't come from giving in to our ego's every whim, but from aligning ourselves with a purpose that's bigger than us, something more meaningful, more fulfilling.
This concept of confronting the ego as part of forgiveness, it's really hitting home for me. It's a reminder that real transformation often means challenging our deepest beliefs about ourselves and the world.
It does. And it suggests that true forgiveness isn't just about making up for our past actions. It's about changing the way we exist in the world. It's about recognizing that we're not our egos. We're something so much greater, more expansive, more connected.
This deep dive has taken us on quite a journey. We started with these demons seeking forgiveness, and we've explored self-compassion, surrender, the power of love, the importance of community, the courage to take responsibility, and now confronting the ego.
It's been an incredible exploration of forgiveness and the power of choosing growth and evolution. And as we get to the end of our deep dive, the text takes us even deeper into the idea of forgiveness. The demons, having faced their past and their ego, are now challenged to forgive others.
Forgive others. That seems like a huge challenge, especially given their past. I mean, haven't they been the ones causing harm? Why would they need to forgive anyone else?
That's a natural question to ask, and the text acknowledges that this is a tough step for them. They've been so focused on their own journey, their own need for redemption, that the idea of forgiving others seems completely foreign.
So what changes their minds? What makes them realize that forgiving others is important?
The text says it's through their growing understanding of love and how interconnected we all are. As they develop compassion and empathy for themselves, they start to see those same qualities in everyone, even those who have hurt them.
So it's not about saying what those people did was okay, but about recognizing that everyone is on their own path, facing their own struggles and making choices based on what they understand, which might be limited.
Exactly. They come to see that everyone is capable of both good and bad, that even those who have caused pain can grow and change. And that opens their hearts to the possibility of forgiveness.
This reminds me of the saying, hurt people hurt people. It's not an excuse for bad behavior, but it helps to understand that pain and suffering are often at the root of it.
It does. And the text suggests that understanding is key for real forgiveness. It helps us to move past judging and blaming and see the humanity in everyone, even those who have wronged us.
It's about recognizing that we're all connected, part of this larger web of life, and the choices we make affect not just ourselves, but everyone around us.
And it's about recognizing that holding on to anger and resentment just hurts us. It keeps us stuck in the past, and we can't fully experience love and joy in the present moment.
So forgiving others is, in a way, an act of self-care, a way to free ourselves from the burden of those negative emotions. It's not about letting people off the hook, but about letting go of the past and choosing to move forward with compassion and understanding.
Exactly. And the text suggests that this act of forgiveness, even though it might seem really difficult, is ultimately the key to true freedom. It lets us break free from anger and resentment and experience the fullness of love and joy that is, well, our birthright.
This deep dive is really making me think about my own relationships and whether I'm holding on to any anger or resentment towards others.
It's a powerful practice to consider. And the text suggests that forgiveness, it's not a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process, a commitment to choosing compassion and understanding, even when it's hard.
It's a reminder that we're all works in progress, that we all mess up sometimes, and we all deserve a chance at redemption. What happens next for these demons? How does their journey of forgiveness end? Do they reach that transformation they've been seeking?
Well, here's where the text gets really interesting. It kind of suggests that the demon's understanding of forgiveness, it keeps evolving, even as they go along. They move past seeing it as a destination, a finish line, and start to see it more as a process, like a way of life.
So it's not about reaching some perfect state of forgiveness, but about making forgiveness a guiding principle in their lives, always choosing it.
Exactly. And that change in how they think about it, it has a huge impact on their transformation.
Hmm.
They become more compassionate, more understanding, more willing to, give grace to themselves and others. They start to embody those very qualities that they were, well, initially seeking forgiveness for lacking.
It's like they become living proof of how transformative forgiveness can be. It's not about erasing the past anymore. It's about integrating those experiences into like a whole new way of being.
You got it. The text even suggests that this constant practice of forgiveness, it becomes a source of strength. It helps them face the challenges, the inevitable setbacks, with a sense of grace.
That makes me think about how much we as humans get caught up in trying to be perfect. In our relationships, our jobs, even our spiritual practices. This idea of forgiveness as a process, not a goal. It's freeing, isn't it?
It is. It takes away that pressure of having to be perfect and lets us appreciate the journey, all the bumps and all, as part of growing.
This deep dive has given us a lot to think about, hasn't it? We started with this idea of demons wanting forgiveness, and we've explored self-compassion, surrender, the power of love, community, taking responsibility, and confronting the ego.
It's been incredible exploring all these sides of forgiveness and how it can transform not just us as individuals, but also the world we live in. And I think one of the most powerful messages here is that forgiveness, it's not weak, it's actually an act of strength and courage.
Totally agree. It takes courage to face our deepest fears, admit our imperfections, and choose compassion over judgment for ourselves and everyone else.
And the text suggests that this journey of forgiveness, as tough as it might be at times, it's the path to true freedom.
Yeah.
It allows us to break those chains of the past and embrace who we truly are right now.
This whole deep dive has been a powerful reminder that forgiveness isn't a finish line, but a journey, something we can practice each and every day. It takes courage, compassion, and being willing to let go of those old patterns and embrace new possibilities.
And it's a journey that's open to all of us, no matter what we've done or what we think are our shortcomings. We all have the capacity to forgive, to grow, to change for the better.
That's a beautiful thought to end on. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey as we explored forgiveness, transformation, and how powerful the human spirit can be. It can evolve and help create a more loving and compassionate world. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep choosing forgiveness.